Hey, thank you, Goldies, for joining me today. I am so excited to bring this dating strategy to you all. Please like the video if you like the video. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. This is my new YouTube channel, Charismatic Hypergamist. Well, it's not really new anymore, but it's my YouTube channel dedicated strictly to hypergamy and what we doing. Okay, you all know that I do have the Goldie Jones channel on YouTube, and over time it's just gotten sullied up with this gender war nonsense and all of this stuff. I want to keep the channel for whenever I need to check a dusty, okay? But I really wanted to create a separate space just for my hypergamous sisters so that we can have a place where we can focus only on our hypergamy goals, okay? So I wanted to spend a little bit of time today talking about flirting on your first date, okay? I know in the community we talk about um, we talk about in the community um, dating strategies that, in my opinion, don't really translate well into reality. Okay. One thing that's really sticking out to me is this notion that if a man asks you about sex or brings sexual innuendo into the conversation, then you are supposed to hint about money. And while I understand the thought process behind it, once you begin to incorporate that into your real life dating scenarios, you can do more harm than good. We understand that first impressions matter a lot, and you wouldn't be going out on a date with this guy if you didn't have a goal in mind. All right. So when you respond in certain ways, you really can turn off prospective suitors from really wanting to pursue you, really wanting anything significant or substantial with you, just by how you respond, to certain things. So I wanted to start this series so that we can begin talking about how to, mesmerize and captivate on the first date and get closer to our goals. My goal for all of us is to um, get that marriage if that's what you want. If you are looking for a long-term relationship, then I want to help you do that. If you are just casually dating and having fun, I want to make sure that you are at the top of your game and doing that. So that's why I'm starting this series, and that's why I wanted to start with dating and kind of share some initial strategies. Okay. Now, I did make some notes, and I'll be referring back to these notes within the video. We will go over a video that I posted in the group a couple days ago, and we will use that as our basis for a real life date interaction scenario. Okay. And I will also cover different topics or different things that you should be looking to uncover with my vetting with intentionality course that kind of helps give you a framework on how to navigate things from assessing your true self, your own internal goals, to interacting on the first date and then vetting for a long-term relationship or marriage if that's what you are seeking. So the first things I want to just mention upfront what my focus is for today, and then I'll go back and refer back into things little by little. I'm hoping to keep this video about 30 minutes. All right. So, first, the intention of a first date is to captivate. All right. You want to mesmerize and captivate this man that's sitting across from you. Um, a lot of times in our community, we pretend that we are not interested in knowing what men think, but we definitely are. Okay, because we have a goal for these guys. We have a reason for why we're dating. So of course, making a first impression, making a good impression matters a lot. All right, now we are not, one thing that I really love about the hypergamy community is that we have decentered men. Like, men are not like the nucleus of our world, but at the same time we still love men. All right, and there's a lot of energy in the community, not our community, but the online community in particular, where a lot of women are pretending as if they don't like men and they aren't dating men and they aren't interested in being with men. And we know, at least for us, that's not true. We have a job for these men. We have a goal with these men, and in so doing, we have a strategy. We want them, and we need them, for lack of a better term, and we're gonna accomplish our goals through them. All right, we don't gain anything by hating them or pretending like we hate them. Okay, because I don't really think nobody be hating them like that. But anyway, so you want to captivate. You are in charge. Know that you are in charge. Yes, you're on a date with him. Yes, he's paying for everything. Yes, it was his idea. But baby, you are in charge, and what you say go. All right. Now, the second thing is that know that you can cut him off after the date. You don't have to stay with this guy. You don't have to progress to the next stage with this guy. You don't have to ever see this guy again or ever talk to him again. So, allowing a first date, hold on for 1 second. Hold on for 1 second. My goodness. All right. So make enjoy the date. Why not? You there, he's there, you looking good. You done got yourself together. Enjoy the date. All right. This is not an interview. This is a fact finding mission. All right. You are looking to uncover a few things that's going to give you reason to continue forward with this person on the first date. Don't waste your time. All right. We talk about dating being a numbers game. And if you truly believe that, then you know that you'll have another like date opportunity with this guy or another guy. But in my opinion, dating is more of a strategy game. It's not a numbers game, because you can have a huge number of guys that don't meet your standards, or guys that are good but just not quite there. So it's not really about a numbers game. It's more so about a strategy game from my perspective. All right. Do not allow sexual energy to enter in on the first date whatsoever. Now, I've read in the community that some of us have questions regarding a kiss on the first date or something like that. That's not really sexual energy. A little peck on the cheek or whatever is not really sexual energy. What I'm talking about is guys referring to you as sexy, guys calling you baby and honey and sweetie and just doing too much. Oh my goodness. I had a first date one time with someone that I kind of knew already. But anyway, we had a good date. It was cool. Everything was straight. Um, but then towards the end of the date, like, I have never ever been pressured so much to like go to the next level with him. Like, and I was shocked. Like, what? Like, why would you come at me like this? And I asked him, like, why you coming at me like this? Like, I could not understand it. So that might be a guy's goal or whatever, but you don't want to allow sexual energy or sexual innuendo to enter in on a first date. You definitely, if you are a quality, high class woman, you do not want to bring in money on the first date. Okay. Now, you should have already vetted this guy and already know that he meets your standards financially. We'll go through that a little bit in a few minutes, but you should have already determined that this guy meets your standards financially. So there's no reason to talk about money. There's no reason to talk about your requirements financially. There's no reason to get into any of that. Your job on this first date is to determine if you like this man, to determine if you can see a future with this man. It's less about if he likes you. Of course, he likes you. Okay? That ain't no question. It's less about if he likes you or if you make a first, an amazing impression on him. It's less about that and more so if this is the guy that's going to take you to the goals that you have listed already when you embarked on your dating journey in the first place. Okay? So moving into that, you need to vet for your basics. Okay. You should have a pre-date phone call where you determine general basics, okay? Just in general conversation, just having conversation with this man, you should be able to, before you even meet with him, to know certain things, like if he's gainfully employed, if he meets your basics, like having a good job, having a car, living on his own, being single, okay, and available to offer you a relationship, being emotionally available and all of that stuff, okay? So those are basics that you should cover in your pre-date conversation. Once you are on the date, you are going to be checking for other things and we'll go into it. And one of the things that I won't touch on too much today, but one thing I want you to think about is compatibility. Is this somebody that you feel that you are compatible with? Okay. Is this someone that you feel you would be interested in moving to the next phase with potentially? All right. You don't know if they're going to make it there, but is there someone that you could consider moving to the next phase with? Okay. So you want to be sure to vet your basics. And then you want to know, yeah, do you like him? Do you want him? Okay. Now, it's very important that we are not dating out of quote unquote desperation. All right. Because that'll have you wanting anybody. Like anybody who takes you on a good date, who is cool and y'all have a good conversation or whatever, all of a sudden you will be like wanting this guy. Okay. If you are not already, stable and centered and whole and balanced before you get out on the dating market. All right. I advocate against dating when you are not somewhat stable. I'm not saying that you have the money that you want or that you're able to pay all your bills by yourself, okay? But your bare minimum basics should be met before you go out here and date, okay? You should not be getting over a breakup. You should not be just having dealt with a real toxic situation and now you jumping out there feet first, after a week or so. Give yourself an opportunity to relax, calm down, like get centered, get in a nice positive place where you can put your best self forward before you are dating. Okay. Of course, um this guy is going to bring benefit to your life and do so many amazing things for you, and you want to have room for those things to happen, but you definitely want to be as whole and stable and centered as a woman as you can be before you get out into the dating world. Okay. So before I go into um before I go into um the actual clip that I'm going to use to date, to pretend dating with, I want to first go into um a little bit of my basic vetting framework. Okay. So, you all know that I created a course called Vetting with Intentionality. This course is designed to help give you a framework that will help you. Oh, I messed it up. That will help you have like a working strategy or a working plan when you are getting out here and dating. Okay. So this course is a really comprehensive course. Like I said, it goes from, first, you can see up here, your self actualization, actualization, determining your what and why. Like, what do you want and why? Okay. And then you go into establishing your basics. These are your basic requirements. All right. A little bit, we talked a little bit about basic standards in our last live video, and I mistakenly um put that video on my page and not in the group. All right. If you missed that video, let me know and I'll tag you in the video that I put into the group. But in that video, I talked a little bit about how I had ran across a friend of mine that I've known for years and all of this stuff. And he is a felon. And that's on my non-negotiable list. You know, no matter how much money he has now, how awesome he is, how available he is, my basic requirements are that my guy does not have a criminal record. All right, so he wouldn't be a match for me. All right, that's um, easily identified, like right away. Another reason why I don't feel like you need a roster is because you will eventually have guys that meet the mark somewhat, but not fully hanging around. And what that does is just cloud you emotionally and mentally to kind of distract you from getting to where you're trying to go. So I don't advocate having guys that don't really meet your requirements hanging around. So I know since he don't meet my requirements, of course I would have dropped him like that, because why would I keep him around when he doesn't meet my requirements if I'm looking for a serious relationship? Now, if I'm just having fun, yeah, I add him to the list and I'll go out with him whenever I have a chance to and get whatever I can get from him. But in reality, if I'm looking for a long-term relationship or a committed relationship, that's a waste of time. Okay, so going into the basics that I have here with my vetting with intentionality program, I'll just share a little bit. Okay, so this is establishing the basics, and this is determining your basic dating standards. Um, each slide has a little bit of audio attached to it. This is the time for you to be completely honest with yourself. Okay, I think you can hear it. I think you can hear it, and it kind of just really sets you up to really understand where I'm going with each slide. So here, it's important to be clear on what you require of the men you allow access to you. This means you know exactly what a man must have at a minimum to be in your consideration. You have to be honest with yourself. When you have a good understanding of what your basic requirements are, you are more easily able to eliminate men who fall short of them. Okay? So be sure to not give. This is perhaps the most important lesson of the course, and it's through this chapter that you will release most of your candidates for consideration. Most men do not make it out of this second chapter. They do not get past this determining the basics piece, because if you are honest with yourself about what it is that you're looking for, this list is so comprehensive that so many men knock themselves out of the standing, the running right away. All right. Now, you need to determine what your deal breakers are and your non negotiables. My deal breakers and my non negotiables might be different than yours. Okay. So you might have a good number of guys that make it out of this second chapter. But for me, my husband made it out, you know, of this second chapter system, vetting system process that I created, this framework. He made it out. But you know, not a lot of guys are gonna make it out of this second chapter. And that's why it's really important for you to be honest with yourself about what you want for your future. Okay. So you are advised to not make allowances that will keep them in the running. Okay, this is the moment where you operate from your highest self, selecting exactly what exactly meets your standards and removing what does not. Now, I just posted a video clip of um what's his name? I can't never remember that man's name. Ben Affleck. Okay. And in the post, I say you can look at a man and tell when he's struggling emotionally. And if you really pay attention and know what you're looking for, you can spot red flags from people before you get too deep with them. Before you get all deep down and in love and feel like you got an emotional bond with this person, you can eliminate these guys with red flags or these guys that don't make the cut right away if you're honest with yourself. With the Ben Affleck video, Ben Affleck was like, get in the group so you can see it, but you could just tell from how he was interacting with J Lo that he has an issue. Okay. And a lot of us choose not to see it. We say, well, that's situational. We don't know if he's upset, or we don't know if they just, you know, caught these clips in a bad moment or whatever. Don't play games with yourself. What you see is the truth. Okay. That's the reality. It is what it is. Don't make any allowances for these men. Don't say, oh, maybe he's having a bad day, or maybe they caught him at a bad angle. No, if you get in the video and you look at if you get in the group and you look at Ben Affleck, you can see that dealing with him behind closed doors, because all of these clips took place in public, that dealing with him behind closed doors might be difficult. Okay. Because if he acting up like this in public, just imagine how he cutting up behind closed doors. So you need to be honest with yourself. Don't make any allowances with these guys, because when you do, you are only putting yourself at a disadvantage. Okay. Now, let's see. All right, so for me, my
Evaluating
basics
his criminal.
are criminal history, okay, employment, education. These are all my basic categories. Credit. These are all of the things I consider as basic considerations to determine if I'll go to the next stage with you. Your financial health, transportation, past relationships. All right, that's about my basic considerations. Okay, now when you are on your initial call, you can just have general conversation about some things. I probably wouldn't ask about criminal history on the well. See, the reason why I wouldn't ask about criminal history on my initial call before the first date is because on my initial call for the first date, I'm going to get his full name. I'm going to get his full name, and then I'm going to background check him before I even get on a date. Okay. Now, if you go into the vetting with intentionality framework, I lead you through a background checking process. So you'll be led through exercises on how you can check the background before the first date. But I'm not gonna have to ask you questions about your criminal history, because I'm already know, baby, you gonna be background checked before you see me. Okay. So I want to know this, but let's just say that you are okay with dating someone with a criminal history. You might want to find out on the first date, if you can, through general conversation, does he have any kind of charges, or has he had any kind of charges? What has he been convicted with? Because there is a difference between being charged with something and being convicted of something. A lot of guys will tell you that they were found guilty for something that they weren't guilty of. You can make the determination on if you will accept that. Me personally, I won't. If you have been convicted of something, sorry that people wrongly convicted you. I apologize. That is an unfortunate situation. But for me, if you didn't got convicted, baby, you done. You done for me. Now you can try somebody else, but you done for me. A restraining order. Have they ever had a restraining order issue? This is something you might want to know, because it means that they are emotionally unstable in some way. Go back to that Ben Affleck video and you can see emotional instability. Now, if you want to play with yourself and say, oh, he might not be emotional unstable, proceed with caution. I'm encouraging you to proceed with caution. But me personally, I would be done with him. All right. Disorderly conduct tickets, that let you know everything you need to know right there. Driving without insurance, excessive speeding, his priorities might be messed up. These are things that you can surmise from just going over this basic information. Okay. So now, of course, you want to ask questions. Now, this is something that you can cover on the first date regarding employment, and I'll go into it once I get into the review of the video piece. Education. This is another thing that you can vet out on the first date, just in general conversation. Now, credit. You might be able to vet this out on the first date, just with general conversation. Okay. Financial health. You could find this information out on the first date, but you might be able to find information out on this regarding through the background check. Okay. And then I also have a free course on vetting for provision and generosity. So that the free course, you can sign up for that and determine if he's general or generous or frugal or anything like that. Okay. Um, all right. And then transportation. Of course, you can find out in the pre-date conversation or even on the date about the transportation piece. All right. I want to also mention that we did a video in the group about standards and preferences, like determining your standards or what was it? Developing your standards. There's a difference, in my opinion, between standards and preferences. Okay. You might prefer that your man has a Lamborghini or a Benz or a Maybach, right? You might prefer that, right? But through your vetting process, you might find that this guy is financially solvent. He has the funds to purchase a Lamborghini, a Maybach. He has the funds for that, but he's driving a Toyota. Your preference might be riding in the Lambo, okay? Riding in the back of the Maybach, right? That might be your preference. But your standard is that he has a vehicle, all right? And maybe if y'all make it to the next step, you can show him how to get a real car instead of the Toyota, all right? But the Toyota doesn't necessarily disqualify him, all right? That's the difference between a standard and a preference, and that's something that I would like for you to keep in mind. All right, and then past relationships. This is another thing that you can vet on the first date, and I will show you how to do that now. Okay, so let me get out of here. And now let's get into the actual video that we will be reviewing. Let's see. Now I'm so not I'm so rusty. I'm so rusty with Facebook. I mean, with this YouTube stuff. So I'm hoping that I don't get any strikes. But I will pause and talk just for a second. I'm gonna try to play the video so that we can see exactly how the date was, and then I'll go back and show you how to captivate, how to flirt, how to mesmerize, as well as vetting him out just in general conversation on this first date. Okay, so this is the post that I put in a group the other day. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. All right, let me see if I can get it going. Let's take a look at this.
I'm an attorney.
Okay. A lot of my friends are attorneys, and we always make a joke and we say, "We'll sue you. I'll sue you."
Well, that's always the last resort.
Right.
Great lawyers know how to persuade people. Watch out.
Oh, I know all about it. So what do you like to do when you're not working?
I like going out to dinner, traveling, meeting people.
I like that.
Yeah, social butterfly, I guess. Yes, you could say.
No Netflix and chilling, huh?
No.
That's boring. He's a lawyer and he likes to be out and about. That's very important to me because I don't want to be with a guy who's not social and like to go to brunches and, go to dinner and go to concerts. Do you have your own practice?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
I have a delivery. Oh my goodness, these are so beautiful.
Yes.
Are these for you?
Yes, of course.
Wow, this is my favorite.
Beautiful flowers for a beautiful lady.
Maurice surprised me. He brought me roses. Thank you. That right there, I was like, this is a class act. Such a gentleman. They're so beautiful and they smell so good. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. My secret to charming people is just being myself. I'm so cool. It's easy.
Do you have anything you want to know about me?
What do you like to share?
So I don't have any children. I've never been married.
Okay.
I'm 44.
Okay. I was married. I have 4 children. My youngest, he just turned 21.
I prefer someone who does not have kids. His kids are grown, but I'm still not sure where I fit in. So I'm gonna try my best to not focus on that. Very good.
Yes, this is good.
Do you work out?
Of course.
Everything about the date was going well. And then we ran out of things to say. You've been here before?
I have.
Mm-hmm. At this point, I'm the one that's asking for the communication. So, do you go on blind dates often?
Not too often.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm here to get to know someone, and you can't get to know anyone by just looking at them.
This food is really good.
Yeah. I don't understand it. What do you do for work?
I'm a
Okay, so wait, I don't want to cancel this. Okay, so let's get into the video real quick. All right, I'm gonna start it over and then play play I'm gonna start it over and then talk about the pieces that I want to focus in on.
Friends are attorneys, and we always make a joke and we say, "We'll sue you. I'll sue you."
Well, that's always a last resort.
Right.
Great lawyers know how to persuade people. Watch out.
Okay, so here we go right there. So here, now on this video, she is smiling. She appears to be open. She appears to be receptive to who he is as a man, right? She appears to be okay with him as a person, okay? So she's smiling. That's really good. But I think where the disconnect came in for with this couple here is that she didn't ask questions. Okay. So when we talk about vetting our basics, this is a great opportunity to begin asking questions that are going to give you that information that you need. Okay. So he says that he's an attorney. Let me go back. I'm just going to stop it and I'm going to pretend to be her. Okay. So I'll be her and respond to him as if I am on this date.
I'm an attorney.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome. How long have you been practicing? What kind of law are you practicing? Oh, that's interesting. What made you go into that direction? Yes, I have a few friends that practice criminal law, and they said that they had this burning desire to practice law from a very young age. Did you always want to be a lawyer? Oh, no, you didn't. What other careers were you interested in besides law? Okay. So she is smiling. She is sharing information about kind of who she is or where she's kind of coming from and getting more information about him. What she's now understanding is what kind of law he practices, how long he's been practicing, and his motivation for practicing, as well as his educational background. Okay. Okay, so let's move
A lot of
forward.
my friends are attorneys, and we always make a joke and we say, "We'll sue you. I'll sue you."
Well, that's always a last resort.
Right.
Great lawyers know how to persuade people. Watch out.
Okay, so great lawyers know how to persuade people. So, what are you interested in trying to persuade me of? This is a first step of flirting. What's your goal? Why are you dating? Okay. These are questions that you put on him so that he can begin to impress you and kind of think in his mind, is this a woman that I can see myself with long term? And his responses will let you know if he is emotionally available, open to a relationship, but more so open to a relationship with you. He'll say he's charismatic and he can persuade. Watch out now. That was his flirting, and you're supposed to say, "Oh, I need to be on guard. I need to be prepared for your persuasive skills, I see," or something like that. Okay. You can then ask his record. Okay. Take it off of him trying to woo you or impress you, or you needing to woo him or impress him, and get back to general conversation so that you can extract more information from him. You might want to know what his record is. Okay. This is important because poor performing attorneys don't make no money. You want to know that he know what he doing. Okay. So when you know what his record is, or he'll go into something like that, you can know if he's a successful lawyer or just a lawyer. Just because a guy is a lawyer does not mean that he's making money. I know so many lawyers that make 60 to 70,000. Yes, lawyers that make 60 to 70,000. So you kind of delving deeper into his professional career and his professional life will give you more information when you go back to the vetting with intentionality framework and begin to assess his financial health and all of those things. So you might want to ask a question like, what's your record, or what was your favorite case that you litigated, or just ask questions to kind of determine his quality as a lawyer, his quality as a professional. Okay.
Oh, I know all about it. So what do you like to do?
Okay, now when you say, like, you don't really want to say you know all about something, because you really don't. You might know all about it from your perspective or from what you've seen, but you are vetting this guy out. Yeah, you on the first date and yeah, you having fun, but we ain't wasting our time. All right, so we want to know if we can have a second date with this guy or if we need to let him go. All right, if we're looking for a long-term relationship. Now, if we just casually dating, we can just have fun with him and see him again soon, right? But if we are wanting a serious relationship, you want to know who he is. So you don't know everything. You want him to tell you everything. You want to pull that information out so that you can have a better assessment of who he is and if he aligns with your goals and values and where you're trying to go. Okay?
Not working.
I like going out to dinner, traveling, meeting people.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, yes, of course you like it, right? Now, you want to ask him, where was your most interesting date? Where's the last place you traveled? Not your most interesting date. Where's the most interesting place you traveled to? Where's the last place you traveled? How often do you travel? And you are laughing, you're joking, you are talking about like your freedom, your ability to kind of go out and explore and travel with him. Okay, since he's mentioning that those are some of the things that he likes to do. So you are saying, how often do you go out?
Like, going out to dinner, traveling, meeting people.
I like that.
Yeah, social butterfly, I guess. Yeah, you can say.
No Netflix and chilling, huh?
Yeah.
That's boring. He's a lawyer and he likes to be out and about. That's very important to me because I don't want to be with a guy who's not social and like to go to brunches and, go to dinner and go to concerts. Do you have your own practice?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
I have a delivery. Oh my goodness. These are
Okay, now this is where the date takes a turn. Okay, now he's obviously put in some effort to surprising her. He thought about her. He picked out this beautiful arrangement, made sure to have it delivered to her. He did something. Okay, so this is where she wants to really um begin to captivate him if she's interested in him. Okay, now when we talk about vetting for provision and generosity, this could be an example that he is a generous guy. This could be an example of his ability to provide. Okay. You've spoken to him about his career. You know that he makes money. You know that he went to a good school. You know that he has a good record, professional record. You know that he has the funds to travel and have fun and go out and meet people and do all of this type of stuff. And he's giving you a sweet, very basic gesture of these flowers. He is showing you that he's interested in you. He's showing you that he has the means to take care of you, and that he has an exciting um, uh, exciting I'm sorry, I'm at a loss for words because there's so much going around me downstairs. But he is showing you that he has interest in things that he likes to do. So he has the funds to kind of make those things happen for you. Okay.
So beautiful.
Yes.
Are these from you?
Yes, of course. Of course.
Wow, this is my favorite.
Beautiful flowers for a beautiful lady.
Maurice surprised me. He brought me roses. Thank you. That right there, I was like, this is a class act. Such a gentleman. They're so beautiful and they smell so good. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. My secret to charming people is just being myself. I'm so cool. It's just easy.
Do you have anything you want to know about me?
What do you like to share?
Okay, so this is where, in my opinion, where the date begins to take a turn. All right, let me go back just a couple seconds here.
So I don't have any children.
Being myself. I'm so cool. It's just easy.
Do you have anything you want to know about me?
Okay, now you can look at his body language right here. You can look at his body language right here and tell that he is fun, he's open, he is not like socially awkward. You can tell that he's inviting, he's looking to kind of see who he can bring into his world, okay?
It's just easy.
Do you have
All
any?
right, he says that he captivates people or charms them by being himself. You want to know who he is and kind of pull that out by also bringing in a little bit of charm. This is where she makes a mistake at, though, because she's not giving any charm. Watch this.
You want to know about me?
Now, do you have anything that you want to know about me? Look at her face. First off, anything that he wants to know about you, he's going to ask you on his own. You don't have to prompt him, you don't have to probe him or anything. He's going to ask you. He is looking at this woman as a beautiful, available woman. All right. Watch how her next statements shatter that. Okay. She just took away all of her mystery and illusion with how she did this. Let's do it.
What do you like to share?
So I don't have any children. I've never been married.
Okay.
I'm 44.
Okay. I was married.
Okay, now let's go.
Okay.
I'm 44.
Okay. I was.
Wait, let me go back just a little bit.
It's just easy.
Do you have anything you want to know about me?
What do you like to share?
So I don't have any children. I've never been married.
Okay.
I'm 44.
Okay. I was married.
I've never been married.
Okay.
Now, watch this. She says, I've never been married. First off, she said, what do you want to know about me?
So
Now look at her face.
What do
She says,
you want to know about
what do you
me?
want to know about me? And now look at her face.
What do you like to share?
So I don't have any children. I've never been.
Now, her whole demeanor is, I'm at a deficit. I'm at a deficit. I have never been married. I'm 44. I'm an old woman. This is how her energy is coming off, and I don't have any children. The way she's presented herself, as if none of those things that she mentioned are a strength, and they definitely can be a strength. All right, they definitely can work in your favor if you position them to work in your favor. Okay, I gotta hurry up because I got some stuff going on. So let me speed through this a little bit.
Been married.
Okay.
Never been married. Look at that. I'm sad. I've never been married. You know, I know that's not attractive to you. When she asked him what did he want to know about her, and he says, well, what do you want to share? Then you want to share the positive things about yourself. I have been single for a few months now. I'm so excited to be out on this date with you and to be getting to know new people. So of course I'm single. I haven't been married. I haven't been married yet. But I am interested in being in. I am interested in marriage. I'm hoping to engage in, or I'm hoping um, to settle into a long-term relationship. I would like to be married one day. And my thoughts, I've never wanted to be a mother, but I would definitely love to be a mother to a little brown fluffy and furry Pomeranian, or whatever dog you want to mention, or whatever you can say. Something like, I have a lot of plants. I have a green thumb, and those are all my babies. And I have enjoyed being a somewhat of a mother to them, but I don't have any children. So why don't you share a little bit more about you, or stop talking like she did, and then he'll pick up the dead air. Okay, but you always want to present what you consider to be, or what may be considered to be, a deficit, like never being married, like being 44 years old, like not having children, in a fun way. Okay, so I'm single. I am interested in a long-term relationship. In my opinion, you need to be upfront and be honest about what it is that you are interested in right away, because this gives you an opportunity to cut off guys that are not serious about you. Okay. Now, a lot of people say that these guys will pretend to be something that they're not in order to get what they want from you, which is usually sex. Guys can only pretend for so long. Okay. And the thing is when you know exactly what it is that you want, and you know exactly what it is that you're looking for, then you can have those things. You can look for or vet for those things right up front. All right. Guys cannot fake forever. At one point in time, they're going to have to show and prove, because you are looking for things in particular. And with them showing and proving, then that means that they are going to have to really be what it is that they say they are, and be what it is that you're looking for, instead of love bombing and pretending, because you don't have a plan, you don't have a framework, you don't have a blueprint. Okay.
I'm 44.
All
Okay.
right.
I wasn't married. I have 4 children. My youngest, he just turned 21.
I prefer someone who
Okay, now he says that he wasn't married. That lets you know a lot about him. And you might want to ask now, how many you're never married and you have 4 children, and he's going to say yeah. Then you might want to begin to ask him about his dating past. Okay, and that's part of the vetting for your basics. You want to know how many mothers of his children does he have? Why didn't he get married? Was he together with these women? You want to say you don't have, you've never been married and you have 4 children, and he's going to say yes. And you'll say, so what are their names? How old are they? And then you'll begin asking questions. Continue smiling, continue being happy. Ask questions about what he tells you, so that you can get to the bottom of his behavior, his mindset around those things. Okay.
does not have kids. His kids.
Okay. Now she says that she is looking for a guy who doesn't have children. Now this is why I want you to go through the self-actualization chapter of the vetting with intentionality course, because it's gonna help you have realistic standards. Okay, if you're 44 yourself and you're dating men who are 44 or older, then you should expect them to have children. Don't be going out here on these dates with these unrealistic expectations. A man your age and your like sight are going to have children. So don't even waste your time with a standard like that. That is going to be really difficult to meet. Okay?
But I'm still not sure where I fit in. So I'm going to try my best to not focus on that. Very good.
Yes, this is good.
Do you work out?
Of course.
Let me go get my baby.
Everything about the date was going well. And then we ran out of things to say. You've been here before?
I have.
Mm-hmm. At this point, I'm the one that's asking for the communication. So, do you go on blind dates often?
Not too often.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm here to get to know someone, and you can't get to know anyone by just looking at them.
This food is really good.
Yeah. I don't understand it. What do you do for work?
I'm
the wrong way until she started talking to me disrespectfully. So let me just clear that up real quick. It wasn't like, oh, I see her.
And we always make a joke and we say, we'll see you. I'll see you.
Well, that's always the last resort.
Right.
Great lawyers know how to persuade people. Watch out.
Oh, I know all about it. So what do you like to do when you're not working?
I like going out to dinner, traveling, meeting people.
I like that.
Yeah, social butterfly, I guess, as you can say.
No Netflix and chilling, huh?
No.
That's boring. So I'm going to try my best to not focus on that.
Okay, now we can see here that him revealing that he had children really messed her up in terms of the date and kind of presenting her best self. So, like I said, you want to make sure that you have realistic standards and expectations. If you have a hard non-negotiable, then you want to try to vet out for that in the pre-date conversation. She could have easily found out if he had children before she went out on a date with him. Okay. Especially since her finding out that he had children has like frazzled her. She really could have found that out before she went out on a date. Okay. But since she didn't, she still can rebound from it. Just keep your head in the game and stay focused on what your goal is. Okay.
Very good.
Yes, this is good.
Okay. Now we can see that after she found out that he had children, she kind of didn't engage him the same way anymore.
Do you work out?
Of course.
Okay, so now this is a great opportunity here. If you follow the vetting with intentionality framework, you'll have a lot of information, a lot of things to consider, a lot of things to kind of bring up in the conversation because you are on a fact-finding mission. Okay, you're not interviewing. One thing that she said is that she wanted to see how she could fit into everything that he had going on since he has children. But you are not fitting into anything. You are wanting to determine if he can fit into the life that you have envisioned for yourself. Now, once you determine if he can fit into what it is that you want out of a man, then you'll begin to make your considerations regarding if you can fit into the world, the life that he wants to offer you. Okay. So here we see that
everything about the date was going well. And then we ran out of things to say.
Okay, now following the vetting with intentionality framework, you'll never run out of things to say because you have so many questions that you need to get down to the bottom of on this first date, okay? Because you don't want to waste your time with a second date with somebody that's not going to take you to where you're trying to go, okay? Uh-oh, got my baby with me right here. Let me hurry. Oh, no, baby. No. Let me hurry up and get done with this. I thought I was only going to be on this video for 30 minutes and it's almost an hour so far.
You've been here before?
I have.
Okay, now you can see here she don't have nothing to talk about anymore. Of course, a woman does not need to lead the conversation, but you have to present yourself as open to be conversed with. And once she found out that he had children, she kind of shut down. So that's why it's really important for you to determine your basics at the very beginning and kind of get out your non-negotiables in that pre-date phone call so that you don't waste your time with like being taken off guard. For me, if I were on this date and let's say we started to talk about let's see, he mentioned that he has a young child, right? We can keep it with children. He said that he has children. I'll say, oh, wow, that's great. How old are they? And he tells me that he got a 9-month-old baby like my baby right here, or he got a 2-year-old. I probably would shut down too. Because why you on a date with me and you got a 2-year-old? Okay, why are you on a date with me and you have a 9-month-old? And then you have never been married, so you out here making baby mamas. Like, it probably would throw me for a loop as well. So that's why you want to get that information out in the beginning and really and really make sure that this person is compatible with you. And but if you do hear some information that you don't want to follow, I mean that you don't like, keep your charm, keep your poise, keep yourself in order so that even though you are not going to see him again, like when you're done with this date, you ain't never going to talk to him again. You still want to leave him in the position of wanting to talk to you, of wanting to see you, of wanting to engage with you. All right, when we shut down or our energy changes like this, then it makes the date like a bad experience on both sides. Okay. If you are looking for that long-term relationship or just dating casually, you want to have, somebody that you can kind of pull back to if you need to. All right. Say you bored on a Saturday and your roster, because you roster dating, is dry, okay? And you just want to go out. You'll have someone that you can go out with.
Mm-hmm. At this point, I'm the one that's asking for the communication. So, do you go on blind dates often?
Now, the reason why she could feel like she's asking for communication is because she's missed some really important social cues. When he shared information about his career, she was supposed to ask lead up or follow up questions. When he spoke about his children, she was supposed to ask follow up questions. This is like the common decency whenever you are getting to know someone. She says that you can't get to know someone by looking at them, but that's exactly what she's doing. She is just looking at this man and really not delving more deeply into him. Okay. And that's what he's looking for. This is another reason why most guys, especially these higher accomplished guys like an attorney, date within their social circle. See, he says that she asks about the blind date. I forgot what he says next, but we'll play it. But she asks, when was the last time you've been on a blind date, or how often do you go on a blind date? She asks these questions, but guys pick from their network because those women know how to date them. Those women know what they are looking for and interested in. They know how to carry a conversation. They know how to have I want to say fiduciary, but that ain't the word that I'm looking for. But they know how to have a conversation. They know how to converse with each other and kind of share information, mutual sharing of information. Okay. Let's keep going.
Not too often.
All right. So now she asks, how often does he go on a blind date? And he sat there and told her right there, not too often, because the women that he dated are from his network, or they were suggested to him by somebody else, like most men who have money, because they have a network of people that they choose from, a social circle of people that they choose from. And the women that they date are beautiful, of course, right? All these women in these elite social circles are not bookworms and unattractive. You don't have to be on the other side of things in order to be attractive. These women are attractive too. And these women know how to mingle within their social circle. So those women would be more likely to be able to have an engaging conversation and kind of have an enjoyable date, even if you guys both know that you won't entertain the connection any further after that date. Now, here she is again, more silence. He just told you that he doesn't go out on blind dates and you're out on a blind date with him. He is, from what I see, now depending on how old his baby is and all of this type of stuff, he is, from what I see, physically available and emotionally available to date. And she doesn't know what to do with it. She doesn't know where to go with it. So here she can say, so what interested you in taking me out today? This is going to give him an opportunity to impress you. He might be lying, but so what? This is going to give him an opportunity to really think about who you are as a woman. He's spoken to you. He's heard about you. If somebody connected him to you for the blind date, he swiped right on you or whatever they be doing on Twitter, right? So he was interested in you. This is giving him an opportunity to put the interest that he had with you with your face, with who you are as a person, this living, breathing, beautiful woman right in front of him. All right. So you want to get him to start thinking about you, right? So what made you want to go out on a date with me then? Right? What brought you out today with me? Right? And you are smiling, flirting. So how often do you go out on blind dates? He's going to say, not often at all. And you're going to say, really? Oh my goodness, I feel so lucky. So what brings you out with me today? Okay. And then you're looking at him, you're smiling, you are, of course, showing gratitude. Showing gratitude is not being a pick me, okay? You got a strategy and you have a reason on why you're doing this. So of course you wanna also let him know that he's impressed you. Like when he brought out those flowers, she did a good job of rewarding positive behavior. Here you want to begin to kind of penetrate his shield and kind of bring him into an emotional comfort area where he can talk about you as well as his dating goals and expectations or desires or whatever. Okay. So you want to say, oh, you don't go out on blind dates often? Well, I mean, I know you're an attorney and you're busy and everything. Do you have time for a woman? Do you have space for a woman? Oh, you do. Okay, so what interested you and me in, and how did we come to be together today? Okay, you just want to ask questions like that, flirting, and make him think about his answer as it relates to you. I got to get ready to go. My baby. Okay, let me hurry up.
Like, I'm here to get to know someone and you can't get to.
And now see, look at this. She asked about a date. All of her questions are regarding our romantic questions. She's not trying to get to know him. She's thinking about dating and romance and not about the guy in front of her and getting to know him and potentially seeing him as a partner. So here, just a second ago, you see him just pick up his spoon, his fork, and say, okay, this lady ain't talking about nothing. Let me fill this space, this awkward space, with more salad in my mouth.
Not too often.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, baby. Now watch this.
Like, I'm here to get to know someone and you can't get to know anyone by just looking at them.
Look at
It's
that.
really good.
He don't have nothing else to say. This girl is interrogating
I don't understand
him.
it.
She is not impressed by him, even though he's tried to impress her. Okay, and she is so emotionally unintelligent that she's gonna allow what could be a pleasant evening, you know, a pleasant experience at this restaurant to kind of be tainted because of her expectations that she could have gotten some clarity on before she even went out on the date. Okay. So now everybody awkward, and now
What do you do
everybody
for work?
just
I'm
eating. All right. So that's the end of that little clip. I just wanted to really come in and show how you can bring some life, some energy to the date and kind of pull this man into you by asking questions about him, by getting to know who he is through the information that he shares and going more deeply into it. Okay. And then when you use a framework like the vetting with intentionality, join a group and I'll go over you know, some important information from the course here or there. The group is a huge resource. So even if you aren't baby, even if you aren't able to purchase the course today, right, you can still use the group as a resource to kind of help you lay your framework for your first date. All right. But if you do purchase the course and kind of take an intensive dive into it, then you will be able to determine how you can show up as your best self, have a framework for how you should comport yourself or kind of how things will flow, and as well as a system to extract that information that you need to know right away so that you can move forward or drop a guy that may not be able to offer you what it is that you want. First, you got to know what it is, and the course also helps you with that. So, thank you all so much for joining me tonight. Thank you all so much for traveling through this video. I thought this video was going to be 30 minutes, but here it is, an hour and something. Leave some comments below about your first date experiences and how things usually flow for you, and what type of pre-vetting or pre-date conversations do you have with these guys that you go out on a date with, as well as what kind of things do you converse about. Now, some guys, especially the more professional that they are, I'm thinking like the Elon Musk, or even like Elon Musk, or what's that other guy name? Well, nah, you know what? Jeff Bezos kind of seemed like he a little cool, and this attorney guy seemed like he a little cool too. Um, but guys like Elon Musk, I get this energy from him that he's kind of socially awkward. Those socially awkward guys could be really, you know, good candidates for long-term relationships, but they might need a woman that kind of speaks to who they are at their core so that they can relax and kind of you know, open up a little bit. A lot of times we say that we're not supposed to lead conversation, or he's there to impress you or woo you. And some men are not savvy enough when it comes to dating and relationships and romance and all of that type of stuff to kind of feed into you the way you're expecting. You have to sometimes present an open aura or an open inviting energy so that those guys can really begin to open up and bring that conversation forward. And a lot of times it's really easy. It's simple flirting techniques, a little eye batting, a little smiling, and things like that to kind of put them at ease and give them an opportunity to open up and share with you. All right. So feel free to so always understand that it's not always about him impressing you, right? The flowers, the date, all of those things were those were his method of impressing you. Okay, those are things that he thought would be nice, and they were nice, and that they would impress you. So when it comes to conversation, he might be lacking there, and that's where you kind of have to step up and kind of captivate him and move things forward. And like I said, you can drop this man right after the date. You can text him and tell him, I don't think this is going to work out, and be done. Right? So you are not going to lose anything by engaging him and kind of contributing to the conversation. All right? Don't just be sitting there looking pretty, even though we're pretty. Okay? There are a lot of beautiful women out there, and you'll be surprised that some men choose a woman that's less attractive than you just because they made that initial emotional connection and like vibe. Okay, the energy is right. Yeah, she ain't as pretty as you, right? But her energy is like awesome. It's amazing. Okay, so anyway, y'all feel free to leave some comments down below. Subscribe to this channel so that we can pump it up, all right? And we can get down to some hypergamous dating and get into the life that we desire to live. Thank you so much for joining me. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and always remember that your love is golden. Bye.